Hey everybody, it is Charlie from Visokii Entertainment. Today I am joined by good brother Mike. This is his first, he is a BB first time viewer. This is his second episode. So pretty much, yeah, other than that, we're going to be covering the show every episode this season. It's going to be fun to watch. No Brady tonight. Brady will probably be on a couple times a week, but other nights he's just going to be way too busy. But that out of the way, how you doing, Mike?
Good. Good
Doing all
episode
right?
tonight.
Yeah, I'd say so, man. We had a lot of gameplay and some messy gameplay.
Yeah.
We're gonna definitely get into. They did a couple of our boys dirty, and there was some messy gameplay. So, pretty much, this whole thing kicks off. We got Miesha's HOH beginning, and right out the gate, she's forming alliances, or should we say, alliances are forming around Todrick.
The man is friends with everyone in the house.
he was friends with everyone. All these alliances are coming to him, which I thought was interesting to first start. I mean, he must be a really likable guy, right? That's what I'm getting, because
He's got to be.
if everyone in the house is wanting to join him right away, it's like, okay, more power to you guys. So Todrick is kind of forming around these multiple alliances. Miesha is throwing around that the athletes should be sticking together, and that she consists of her, Lamar, Todrick, and then throughout the episode she goes on to add Chris Kirkpatrick and as well as Mirai. But I don't think Mirai is gonna be in that alliance anymore.
No, definitely not.
But do you think that four is probably gonna stick together?
I would think so. At least for a little while.
At least for a little bit, yeah.
I do think it's kind of dangerous for Todrick to be in
Oh yeah.
every alliance possible.
And you've seen with other shows that can catch people.
That's dangerous.
Like, that can catch them off guard. You don't want to get stuck off guard like that. And the other alliance forming, which got a name by CBS.
Terrible name.
It is The Formation. It is Todrick, Teddy, Cynthia, Shanna, and Carson. And Mirai was also in that. My bad. So, a group of 6. However, 2 of them are on the block now.
Yes. Mirai did it to herself, though. Terrible, terrible planning she had. Oh. Did my headset just die?
I think it was my mic. How we doing? How we doing?
There you go. Your mic
All right.
died.
Sorry, well, I don't think I fucking unplugged it. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I think Mariah just dipped her hands a little bit too much in the cookie jar, man. And by that I mean is she got a little bit too talkative.
Yeah.
No. Oh, man. I thought things were going really well for her. She was invited to the Athletes Alliance. She helped form the formation. And now I think she's probably going. But
that was Brady's winner too, or top 3 pick. So
it's like, man, that's tough. If there's one spot you don't want to be week 1, it's either you don't want to be completely doing nothing or you don't want to get your hands caught.
Yeah, kind of like how I feel like Todd and Chris Kirkpatrick did nothing that episode.
They were almost completely out of it. And what shows you at the end that they had no idea what was going on with those nominations.
Yeah.
Carson? Murat? What? It's like, yeah. Speaking of Todd, apparently don't be sleeping near that guy. Now that can mean multiple things, but apparently the guy just snores pretty heavily.
That was a great moment when Chris said he hates the guy because of the snoring. It's
like, geez, man. Another funny little thing we had was Todd's tattoo. What was that? A panther as Superman?
I don't know. It was a superhuman with a tiny head.
Yeah, that's worth checking out.
And that got him some friends, it seems like.
Yeah, hey, man, you can be a comedian within the house. It's worked before. People want to be around someone that they find funny. So we then have a Lamar sad segment. He's talking about missing his ex-wife. Wishes they had kids together. Brady called this yesterday.
Yes, he did.
Lamar
I
seems very
felt
likable.
bad for Lamar.
Yeah, I thought there's some sympathy there. Like, he seems like a likable guy. Honestly, I just wonder if he's cut out for the game.
Yeah.
But he's getting in an alliance. I mean, so far seems like he's having fun with it. We now know his intentions for being on the show, though. He's hoping Chloe sees this.
He's trying to get his chance.
All right. Oh, if there was an over-under at 5% that Chloe sees this, I'd probably still take the under.
Yeah. Probably.
Who knows? Maybe it'll pop up on their Twitter feeds, right?
Oh, I'm sure it's on Twitter somewhere that he's on the show.
So, Chris Kirkpatrick in sync. Then, as the episode's going along, we pretty much get a little segment with him, and he seems to be kind of. I don't think he's making enemies, right?
No, definitely not making enemies.
Not making enemies. Miesha wants to then add him to that alliance, which then we get into our game. Todrick seemed very sussed out about that at first, though. He's like, "You're
well, yeah,
people."
it was because of the way Miesha brought it up. She brought it up as the athletes alliance, and then added a singer.
Because that kind of tipped off to Chris Kirkpatrick now that he knows that Todrick was working with her. Well, he already set up that he was working with Todrick. Could be. I mean, these are the little things that could come back to bite him later, but it's first week. We'll see who goes home tomorrow, assuming it's we'll see who wins veto. Tomorrow will be a fun episode, actually.
Yeah, I'm intrigued on how this hat's going to work.
Yeah, so great segue. We then get to the hat of the Gift Mon Wand competition, which so the way that they gimmick this is the person that gets the hat last is safe, but we don't. Supposedly there's some extra thing. Maybe they pick a nomination. Maybe they're not safe the next week. I don't know.
I don't think about that.
At this point, production probably hasn't decided, right?
True.
So Mirai is in the final three of that, and then she hands it to Shanna, which hands it to Cynthia. So Cynthia is safe for the week. That's
I think she was safe no matter what.
Yeah, and that's as we see in our thing here. I mean, she was in the formation line, so she was safe no matter what. So, I mean, look, you'd rather have the safety than not, but at the same time, you don't want someone throwing this in your face next week.
Yeah, true.
Right? So we then go on to, I kind of want to talk about Miesha overthinking her nominations. This should have been so easy. This could have just been Todd and Chris, right?
Very much should have probably been them too.
Should have, because I mean, as you mentioned, they were literally, we didn't see them at all. From what we got, they're probably sleeping 10 to 12 hours a day, not really doing anything with anyone. First week, it's like you probably want to just nominate no one to get any, quote, blood on your hands. You'll learn that's the most overused lingo in Big Brother.
Oh, boy.
Blood on your hands. And, it's like that's the easiest thing. But what does she do? She then goes to offer Mirai to be a pawn.
Which was not the greatest move.
Not the greatest move for her. And then Mirai took this, and is it safe to say she took this information and pretty much jumped in front of a bus with it?
Yeah. not the best plan either.
Like, she takes this information, which then she tips off Teddy on a possible backdoor, which then Teddy takes this information, she flips it to Todrick, and that is all Todrick needed, because then Todrick had laser eyes set. He's like, all right, let's go. Now I know what to do. He ran that information to Miesha about Mirai, and that's it.
Which this could definitely backfire for Todrick, because there were only 3 of them in the room, and Mirai was on Miesha's good side.
Yeah, hey, I mean, they thought that, she added her very late on to the Athletes Alliance. Miesha was in the alliance with the formation with Todrick, Mirai. So, man, I think this is Todrick showing his hand already. He's here to play.
Yeah.
Todrick he wants to win this. He wants to win this show. He cares about it. And I think he saw the perfect opportunity. He's like, Mirai is clearly probably a stud athletic competitor. Let's have another athlete take her out. Because he's already covered with the formation, which is the build upon of the girls and gays like we talked about last night.
I thought that was the alliance name. And then they made up the formation. So,
which is pretty much the formation. If Mirai goes home, let's assume Mirai goes home. The formation is literally just the girls and gays plus Teddy, which kind of fits because she was a Beverly housewife anyways.
Yeah.
Or what? Maybe not Beverly. One of those real housewives.
Yeah, one of them. They got like 8 now.
Housewives at Chesapeake Bay. We get a Lamar Odom sleep talking segment.
That was brutal.
I didn't know where this was going, man. I thought he was going to start speaking to Chloe through the cameras. I was worried for a second. I was like, where is this guy taking this, man? Please, don't do him like this.
They didn't have to show that. That was just rude.
So they've now done that a couple of times. I think Lamar, Chris Kattan, and Todd Bridges are going to be their 3 go-to comedic
people. Relief.
Yeah. Which, hey, I'm cool with it. Makes sense. I if we were 10 minutes into that episode, I probably would have bet, hey, Chris and Todd, easy noms. Nope.
Oh, halfway through the episode, I was thinking it was going to be Chris.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. So I want to talk to you about this. So after we get to Lamar sleep talking, Teddy then is offering a deal to Miesha for safety. Right? This is casual. We see this all the time. This nothing out of the norm. However, Miesha did something here that I really liked. Because you don't see this often. People are always quick to take these deals. They're like, oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, you cool with me? I'm cool with you. Miesha then goes, how long is the deal good for?
She questioned it. Very good.
What's the realistic timeline of this deal? It's like, that to me, that just, I don't know. It seems so simple when you say it out loud, but you're like, man, you never see that shit.
Yeah.
Do you think Teddy means this? Were you getting that vibe that she kind of feels like you offer me, loyalty means a lot to me?
I can't really tell, honestly.
Yeah. The fact that she might know that Miesha was targeting her, it's like, you always got to get, it's a 5-week game. That's in the back of your head. So yeah, kind of just derails more on to the Mirai being the target. And I think we saw the great tragedy this episode. And that is throughout the course of the entire episode, Mirai pretty much turned herself into the target and is now, if she doesn't win veto tomorrow, it's probably already played. But if she doesn't win veto tomorrow, Mirai is probably our first eviction.
Which is very surprising.
Did not see that coming. Oh, and there's one more twist at the top. In the final act of the show, while she's overplaying so much, but I fucking love it. She then wants to nominate Carson as a pawn.
That was...
Where did that come from?
Hey.
Where did that was literally, I think, at like 9:52. Like, there was no mention of this all episode, which means she probably thought of that in the last hour before actual nominations.
Yeah, I don't know what her big thing was with making someone a pawn and letting them know that they were going to be made a pawn. That's right. It just seems like a bad idea.
Because now Teddy, Carson, and Mirai, even if they're quote not the target, they all have in the back of their head like, yo, she was cool with me going home. That's the reality if you're a pawn, right? They're cool if you're going home. Like, you're expendable.
People don't enjoy being considered pawns.
No.
In the grand scheme of things.
No. So it's like, I think Miesha's having a solid. I'm actually going to say she's probably having a pretty bad HOH reign, because I think at this point she's probably pissed off half the house.
Yeah.
Is that
Which is with a lot of these shows, I feel like if you're the winner in the beginning, you usually don't go up from there.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know, man. It was like a trajectory of just bad gameplay, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, mixed in with a little bit of good. I think Todrick played a good couple moves there. I think Chris Kirkpatrick played good.
Yeah, Chris Kirkpatrick.
We haven't heard from
just laying low.
Yeah, Carson taking that information and knowing he even mentioned, he's like, yeah, I might be smiling on my face, but in the back of my head, still, I don't. He might not have had an option there. He might have just had to accept being the pawn.
Oh well, I mean, you can't argue.
It's like what's he gonna say? No, fuck you. I'm not doing this. Nah, it's like you don't really have a choice at this point. So, I guess this. I mean, seeing as Miesha is your first HOH that you've seen. How do you feel like she's doing, I guess? Because you kind of mentioned you think she had an easier route. But hey, at the same time, it's like, I'm down with the gameplay.
Not great. Not a great first HOH to see.
So a term in Big Brother that people often throw around is HOH-itis. It's when the HOH gets a little power hungry. And they start overthinking. And they start doing crazy shit.
Oh, there was definitely a lot of overthinking.
I think it's safe to say Miesha started developing a little bit of this HOH-itis.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, anything else you can think of? Any questions you got? Or
I'm wondering how long Todd and Chris Kirkpatrick are going to last. Hopefully they're the next two.
I mean, I'm starting to think there might just be shots thrown back and forth, and those guys might slip to the final five, and next thing you know, one of them's winning the game.
That would be something, wouldn't it?
It's happened in this show, but usually that's the full 16. So far, the celebrity winners have been playing since the jump. Although, season 1, a lot of people say the sidekick won.
The sidekick.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
But in normal Big Brother, it's been pretty traditional with, at least lately, the hard players have won the game. I mean, other than that, we don't have too much to go off of until tomorrow, which will be a 2-hour episode, which will be fun. I'm excited for that. The Power of Veto, it's my favorite competition, especially when it's live. But, it will probably, I'm sure the rest of the internet world will know tonight what it is. Yeah. But
so how does that work?
So 6 people enter a competition, and it's the 2 nominees, I should say, the HOH, and then 3 people picked by random draw.
Okay.
They all enter the competition, and if you win the Power of Veto, you have the chance to remove one of the nominees, and the HOH announces the replacement. So in the case of Miesha playing super hard right now, say she were to win, she'd probably take Carson off herself and then announce her own nominee. Or if Mirai wins, she could take herself off, and that forces Miesha to announce a nominee. And it can't be Mirai or Cynthia this week.
Yeah.
So it's,
Do you think she throws Teddy under the bus if that happens?
Oh, if Mirai wins?
Yeah.
Oh, she has to. You have to lunge. You have to. We could get a feud right off the bat. I hope she wins, man. Because if we right off the jump of this game have a feud 1v1, which then turns into a alliance versus alliance, that's when it gets the best. But yeah, other than that, I still think the same people are in good spots that we thought were probably in good spots. I think Todd and Chris are the easy ones out next, unless crazy shit happens.
The war starts.
Yeah, if the war starts, those are going to be the guys sitting on the sides the entire time. So, just got to wait and see, I guess. But, yeah, that'll do it for us today. If you guys check this video out and you're interested in checking us out live, we are live about 10 minutes after every episode. We appreciate it. Other than that, first eviction tomorrow. First Power of Veto. Hopefully Mirai wins the veto. We'll catch you guys later.